Hey, it's Sunday evening out there, A.B.A.T.E of Illinois. This is your state legislative coordinator again. Still live, still in Austin. We just had a wonderful day, the full day with the Texas COCI, Texas A.B.A.T.E, learning about all the different issues that they're dealing with down here in the Lone Star State. Tomorrow, some of their volunteers are going to be down at the Capitol. We're going to be down at the Capitol with some of them a little bit later on. But right now, I wanted to introduce all of you to Willy from New Mexico. Willy, he's from New Mexico, but he found himself on that same Texas gang list that we were talking about yesterday with the feed from Waco, where he talked about that if you're on this list, they suddenly take your right to carry. They take a lot of rights away from you just because you're on this list that you have no clue that you're on. So I'm going to bring Willy on. I'm going to have him talk about that experience and what he did with that. So here we go. Willy, how we doing?
Hello, Illinois. Just let everybody know, this is a perfect example. We ended up having to take this to the federal civil courts and do civil rights cases, and we're moving along through there really well. We're actually making some progress, but those outcomes are helping a lot with changing the laws in Texas and eventually, hopefully, in the United States. The key to all that kind of stuff is it doesn't matter who you are, what club you ride with, independent. You can be targeted, and when you're targeted, it doesn't stop. And unless you stand up and fight, then you will continue to be a part of that. So I recommend everybody stand up, get involved, participate in your COCs, participate in your A.B.A.T.E, your MRFs, be a part of it. Don't just sit and wait for somebody else to do it. It's numbers that are helping us. So those numbers are what make laws pass. So be involved.
Now, let me ask, had you done anything to be put on that list? What got you on that list?
I got on that list because I testified in a trial.
Okay.
I attended a funeral.
You attended a funeral.
I attended a funeral, and cops came and took 4,000 pictures.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that the people that you trust to protect you sometimes clearly are not always there to do that.
Okay.
And, unfortunately, I spent 25 years in the Army. I've never had a ticket in Texas. I've never been pulled over in Texas. I've never been arrested. But I am a gang member according to the state of Texas.
And how did you find out that you were a gang member?
I had to request through the DPS, the state police here, to find out. They don't tell you, you don't know until you get arrested and they throw gang enhancement charges on you for carrying a weapon that they license you to carry.
So, just to kind of give everybody the idea. So you live in New Mexico, 25-year veteran, no criminal record whatsoever, and yet you were labeled a gang member by the state of Texas, and they attempted to deprive you of rights because of that.
They called me a murderer.
Because of that.
Because they suspected me of murder, assault, narco trafficking, because I'm in a club. Not because they suspected me of anything specific, just because I wear a cap and I'm in a club. And that's kind of par for the course in certain areas in Texas. So that's what we're finding out. We're making progress. Thanks to all these great guys that came out today. That's why we have folks come from Illinois and Pennsylvania and California and New Mexico, because if it happens here, it's going to happen in other states. Yep. So it's a fight that goes beyond Texas.
Willy, thank you very much for your time. We greatly appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Good to meet you guys.
There you go. And so there you have it. There's a guy who literally no criminal record, nothing going on, and yet he found himself labeled a gang member and found some of his rights being taken away based on a list that he had no way to fight that designation. This is something that we need to keep an eye on because it's starting to happen in Illinois somewhat as well. We're seeing that where I've said the gaming board has started going into a few places saying that's association just because certain motorcycle people hang out. That's not right. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us, and we need to be watching for that. Till the next update, everybody have a good evening.